Hello again, everyone. Toby Bro along with Tom Wilmot on the Humanity Boutique Maroon Strong pregame show. And Tom, we got a lot to talk about this week. Our Maroon Devils fell last Friday night to Murphy, and of course that had a major impact on playoff seeding, which we'll take a look at during this pregame show with you. We'll have some answers for fans out there who have been asking the million-dollar question: how does an 8-3 team end up a number 10 seed? We got the answer for you on that one. On top of that, we're going to look at highlights from last week, and the Maroon Devils lost to Murphy.
And Tori Treadway is going to talk to Neil Blankenship about Coach Neil about what happened last week and looking forward. We've got preview of the playoff game coming up, and we've got Aaron Jenkins talking about some other state championship news we've got coming up. Talking to Coach Sherry Wright about our cheerleaders. So we've got a lot to go, but you kind of previewed a little bit. Why don't we talk about this playoff seeding thing?
Yeah, the playoff seeding thing, that's the million-dollar question most all the Maroon Devil fans have asked all week long, is how does a number 8-3 team end up a number 10 seed and play a 10-1 team? Well, you could say, for the lack of a better term, it's just dumb luck, if you will.
Unfortunately.
A lot of things had to happen, and they did. The first thing that had to happen is Swain had to lose Friday night. That happened, unfortunately. With that, we became a number 3 seed instead of a 2 or 1, which we've been used to being in the last couple of years. So number 3 seed automatically goes in after the 1s. If you're a conference champion, then the number 2s in the conferences go in next, and then the number 3s. Well, there were 6 conference champions in the Big 1A.
Yeah.
And that went all the way down to Mitchell at number 6. And yes, I know, folks, Mitchell has a 6-4 record. We're 8-3. I get that, but that's not the way the playoffs are drawn. They are their conference champion by default, and that puts them in the tier, number 1 tier is what I call it. So they're a 6 seed. And then comes Mount Airy, and yeah, I know they're 10-1, but their one loss came in conference play to East Surrey, so they're second place in their conference.
Yep.
And that moves them in to 7, 8, and 9. Those are all second place teams, and then we fall in there as the top third place team.
It's a tough draw, man. It's going to a 10-1 team. It's not going to be. It's not going to be warm and friendly up there either. So
no, it's not. And we've been there before, and the last time we were there, it was 30-0 Mount Airy, and a bitter, bitter cold night that night. So we hope things don't repeat themselves for that. Another team that we've got going for a state championship this weekend, though, is our cheerleaders. Our own Aaron Jenkins, who is a cheerleader, caught up with Coach Sherry Wright earlier this week and talked to her about what the cheerleading squad is going to be up against this weekend. Let's take a look at that piece from Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron Jenkins here on the Maroon Devils Network, and I'm here today with Coach Sherry Wright. She's head coach of the Swain Varsity Cheerleaders. This week, you and your team will travel after the game to Raleigh to face in the biggest competition of the season. Last weekend, we traveled to West Iredell High School to compete in a pre-state competition. Walk us through last week's emotions at the competition.
Well, this is the second year that we've done pre-state. What it's about is getting before a panel of judges and getting safety clearance for all our stunts and our routine and getting some tips. So I went with the attitude that don't have a lot of pressure, it's okay, but anytime you're in front of a panel of judges and other schools, the girls were really nervous. We had a great time, great performance, and so I was really pleased with what happened, and hopefully helps get them a little over the edge of the nerves for state this weekend.
Do you think this week's practice has helped you prepare for this weekend?
Definitely. We did some changes in our routine so that we can get a better score at state, which is what we want, so we can get first place. And we don't usually practice on cheer practice mats, which is what we compete on, so we got an opportunity to do that yesterday, and we laid out some lines, and so I think it just gives us a little bit of edge for Saturday.
Can you tell us the process you go through in preparing your routine for competition?
Well, I do it backwards for most people. Lots of cheer coaches hire someone to write their routine, but that's about a $2,000 process, money we don't have. And with my background with marching band, we usually pick a song we like. We get 4 or 5, and I pick 4 or 5, and I let the girls choose. And then I just break it into segments, and we add in stunts and pyramids and things that we've been practicing early in the season over the summer. And that's how routine comes about. And it's worked well for us in the past. Several coaches have said, who writes your routine? And we just sort of do it. I let the girls write the dance. And so it's really a team effort and something that we've put our heart and soul in.
So, at competition, you get 2 minutes and 30 seconds. What do you think that means to your team?
Well, I think for us, it means dedication, hard work, bruises. We're proud of our bruises, blood, sweat, tears, and it's our chance to prove what we've got, how Maroon strong we are, and that we really are a great team. And lots of teams in our conference, I don't know of any other team west of Asheville that even goes to state competition. So I'm really proud, and it's just a something that's strictly for us.
Can you tell us a little bit about what happened this weekend at state?
Well, cheerleading competitions are a little different. You go by the way the divisions are set up are by the number of girls on your squad. So in the years past, there might have been one 1A team in our division from across the state, maybe a couple of 2As, but mainly 3 and 4A schools. So we have in fact, I was told last year it'll be really hard for a 1A team to win, which we hope to prove them wrong with that this Saturday. So the division we're in is called Small Varsity Non-Tumble, which means that we don't do any gymnastics. You need really a whole team of doing gymnastics to compete in that division. So we do do stunts and pyramids. So we are competing against 10 teams. There's 10 teams in our division, so 9 other teams. And I think there's one other 1A school, and the rest are 2A and maybe a 3A school. So we are out to show them what Western North Carolina can do cheerleading-wise. So we're going to have a great day. I know it.
If you'll check in next week with the Maroon Strong pregame show, we'll have the rankings for you. Back to you guys.
Wow, great piece, Aaron, and we appreciate Sherry Wright's time on a cold morning to come out and share what's going on. We wish the cheerleaders the very best of luck. We hope they bring back a state championship this weekend, and if at all possible, have updates for you on our Facebook and Twitter accounts. So stay tuned to those and find out how the girls do on the big stage down in Raleigh.
Yeah, it's always a privilege to get to go compete for these high-level
absolutely.
awards. So hopefully they will bring us back a winner.
Hopefully. Well, last Friday night was a tough night for Maroon Devil faithful. The Maroon Devils on the back end to the Bulldogs, and Murphy, good football team, take nothing away from them. And the Maroon Devils made some big plays. The game at halftime, 17-14 game, and the second half didn't quite bode as well for the Maroon Devils, and their defense is Deion Johnson ran for over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Right. I'll tell you, that kid, I was taken aback. That kid, he had about 240 yards, and just his cutback in field vision. That kid's got, I believe, he's a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a senior.
He's a senior. Well, that's good because we don't need to see him.
No, we've seen him enough.
He was quite something. His field vision cut back and forth. There was just, and we've had a really good defense this year too. We can't take anything away that the job the Devils have done this year on defense. Spent most of the year either 1 or 2 in the conference in defensive stats, but that kid just had one of those days. So, but like we were talking, we did have 2 really, really great plays in the first half, and I was lucky enough. That Jordan Cody catch down in the corner, the left-hand corner of the end zone down there. Oh, we were floored down there. Yeah, and it was funny because I had an old guy standing behind me. He goes, "Just throw the ball up to him. He'll catch it." And he sure as heck did. It was an amazing catch.
And he did.
Got us going, got us on the board. And then, of course, right before halftime, we talk about that defense.
Right.
They just straight took the ball away from Murphy, ran it back, and got us tied. And I tell you what, at halftime we let Murphy go back down the field and kick that field goal. But I felt at halftime we're right in this thing. But unfortunately, like we've talked about, they just didn't have an answer for Johnson in the second half and had some blocking issues. But all in all, 8-3 regular season. Yeah, we're going up to Mount Airy. You got to feel pretty good about the youth that we had on this team. Especially, we've talked about the youth on that offensive line all year long. Now they've got a year under their belt. You had a bad year in year 8-3. I mean, you got to be proud of the way these kids tried to push on through. They had some tough losses, the ones to Murphy, obviously, and Robbinsville, and still kept coming back. What I like is after a loss every time this year, they've come back with a very solid performance.
And that bodes well for Friday night.
Yeah,
because the playoffs start, it's a whole new season. They're 0-0, just like everybody else going into this.
Just got to win. Just like Al Davis said, just win, baby.
Just win. So. And, one thing about that catch, and you're going to see a highlight of it here in just a second, is probably one of the top 5 best high school football catches I've seen in my career. Was the Jordan Cody catch from Kobe Stevenson in the end zone for our first touchdown. And for one of the few times all night being in the Murphy press box, it was silent up there. They really didn't have anything to say about that other than, okay. Yeah. Because that was a great catch. And you're going to see highlights of that, as well as it was also Jordan who took the ball away from Deion Johnson there and scored the Maroon Devils' second touchdown. Right. As you said, right before the end of the first quarter, I believe it was, or right into the beginning of the second quarter. Tied the ball game up at 14. It was a big play at that moment in time. And we've got both of those for you. Along with that, Torrey Treadway was able to catch up with Coach Neil Blankenship this week and get his feel for not only the Murphy game, but for what's coming up with Mount Airy. So let's take a look at those.
5'10", 270. We'll tell you about some more of their sizes here in just a minute, as it's going to be handed off to Johnson again, but he's going to be caught in the backfield by Spencer McCoy at the 30 for a loss of 5. And when Spencer gets you, you're going down. It's going to be Christian Norton. Trent Wright throws it out to Kobe Tuanita. Christian blocking for him. Kobe out to the 45.
Close, yeah, they might have first down.
Yep, going to be a yard shy of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. James looking back, getting things underway in the second quarter now. 3rd down. And about 13 to go. Trent Wright airs it down. There's Jordan Cody. He's got it at the 25-yard line. What a grab. Jordan Cody leaped high into the air and pulled down the biggest offensive play of the night for the Maroon Devils.
2 Murphy defenders right all around him, but Jordan Cody wanted it the most, and he jumped the highest, and he got it. 1st and 10, Swain County.
70-pound defensive tackle, 3rd on the team in tackles. He's a force up front. We got to control him. Toss to the right side. And turning the corner inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. It's going to be a big Derek Fortner.
Pretty good gain on that play by Derek Fortner.
He had a good junior season. Kobe Stevenson back to throw. Looking. Trying to set it up. It's going to be Miller at the 35, at the 30 with the first down.
Chris Miller in the open.
Getting a block over there. Good blocking out in front of him. And Miller down inside the 20-yard line.
Flag on the play late.
Oh, boy. Quarter dogs up by 7. Kobe under center. Split backs. He's going to pitch it out to the left side, and Miller is in trouble in the backfield.
Maybe he had a good lunge, late lunge forward, and I think he might have got that first down on that second effort.
You're right, Steve.
Chris Miller, good second effort on that play. It looked like he was stopped for a loss, but he kept going.
Jordan and Kobe wide left. Kobe Stevenson under center, wants to throw, looking. Jordan Cody, 2 defenders. Oh, did he catch it?
Yeah, he did.
He caught it.
He did. Touchdown.
A diving grab by Jordan Cody, 2 defenders, and that was just an outstanding catch by Jordan Cody.
Touchdown, Jordan Cody.
And again, he kicks this one a little bit of an angle, picked up at the 15-yard line. Out across the 25, out to the 30, out to the 35, Kobe Tuanita. Out across the 40-yard line, Kobe Tuanita. Nice return. I'm afraid it's not going to happen. Robbinsville shutting out Cherokee 21-zip in the second quarter. Stevenson fires it out to the left side. It's going to be Derek Fortner on the screen, and he's got the first down all the way down to the 40-yard line of Murphy territory. This time the line of scrimmage, their own 6-yard line. Got to be careful with the football here when you're in the shadows of your own goalpost. Maroon Devils a 4-man front. They turn and hand off. And it's going to be Johnson cutting it out to the left side, turns the corner to the 10, cuts back inside at the 15. And Jordan Cody. Oh, Jordan Cody stripped the ball away from him.
And he's going to. Jordan Cody stripped the ball and took it in.
He took it in, or will they say the play was blown dead? Let's see if it's going to stand.
I saw one referee signaling a touchdown for Swain County.
Steve, that's good for both teams. Here comes the handoff around the left side. It's going to be Johnson again. He's caught by Spencer McCoy at the 43-yard line for, again, no gain on the play. He is a threat anytime they get to this place on the field. They fake the handoff to Johnson, letting get back to throw. He's going to step up and run. He doesn't get much. Knocked down at the 31-yard line. So a good convergence on defense there. Coming up again is going to be Johnny Woodard and Kanan Sellers. Cody comes wide to the left side. Kobe under center. He wants to throw over the middle. Got his man. And it's going to be Norton inside the 40 to the 35-yard line. Good catch and run over there by Chandler Norton, big number 15.
I'm Tori Treadway, and I'm here with head coach Neil Blankenship, and he is going to answer a few questions for the game this Friday. Coach, we wrapped up the regular season last Friday. Do you have any comments on how the regular season went?
Well, it's not what we want here at Swain County. You know, our goal every year for our conference is to be a conference champion, and that's our goal every year. And you know, and that's what we set out for. So if we don't reach that goal, that's not what we want to do. I think that our kids have played hard, and I think that we've gotten better, and we've came a long way. But it still didn't reach what our goal was and our kids' goal. So you know, we still want to keep improving, but it's not what we want to do here at Swain.
Do you think that the drive to Mount Airy will affect the performance of the boys in any way?
Well, you know, when you're in the playoffs, you got to get used to that, and we've traveled a long way before in the playoffs and done well, so you can't really use that for an excuse. We've got the day planned out for them, trying to get them off their feet, having a walk through at a school down the road, and trying to take care of that part for them, and hopefully that won't affect them. If they're mental focused and they want to play next week, then they won't let that affect them. So, you know, that'll be up to them and their mentality as far as that part of it.
What are some key skills that y'all worked on this week to pull away with the win this Friday?
Well, we went back to basics. We went all the way back to basics. We had to do a lot of fundamentals this week on both sides of the ball, defensively, offensively, up front, and the secondary everywhere. So we went back to our fundamentals because we felt like that we weren't doing some things well on the field Friday night, and the only way to get those back is to go back to the fundamentals and the basics and try to start right back there what gets you what you're doing well.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Now back to you guys.
Welcome back to the Maroon Strong Pregame Show, sponsored this week by Humanity Boutique, and we appreciate that from the folks down at Humanity Boutique. Mm-hmm. Make sure you go by and do your Christmas shopping and get started early. But, sure. You know, big football game this week. Anytime the playoffs get started around the Maroon Nation, it's big. The one thing I can tell the Maroon Devil fans out there is this Mount Airy team is good.
They are. You don't win 10 games in a year and not be. So. And
Mount Airy is a tough place to play. We've been there before. We've seen that, and it's not easy to play up there. So it'll be a challenge, and the Maroon Nation needs to show up in full force and be a part of that game as well.
Yeah, I know it's a drive, but you know we got to. I mean, we represent so well at these away games. I always love it. Like even in a loss at Murphy. I mean, heck, we had a ton of folks over there. We peopled the town. You know, in fact, one of these Murphy guys told me we were at the place called Doyle's. It's right there getting a little something to eat. And he goes, man, I can't stand it when we play Swain because we can't even walk in here without bumping into something Maroon.
Well, you know, we'll be glad to play them over here every year if they want to do that.
If they mind it that much, we'll be happy to sacrifice the drive.
Eat by themselves all they want to. We'll just play over here from now on.
I know it.
But, you know, one thing we need to note for tonight's game is it'll be audio only from here on out throughout the playoffs. The NCHSAA does not allow video streaming of playoff games, but we'll be there with you. Kerry Ayers will be there on the air bringing you the game from Mount Airy if you can't make it, so make sure you tune in. And, you know, after the season, we'll post these games on YouTube so you can check them out in their full entirety. And if you can't wait until then, you can always swing by our offices. We've got DVDs for sale, and you can purchase one and watch it on Monday if you like. Either way you want to do that, including the Murphy game.
Yeah, and this game, like I said, it's probably the best game of the night
Absolutely.
In the playoffs. I mean,
Absolutely.
You got an 8-3 team with a huge winning tradition.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been in the Western Finals at the very least. 4 years in a row now.
Right.
Against a team that only lost one game to their conference champion, East Surrey, in Mount Airy. They've got some players that are going to be fun to watch. We're going to have to play some run defense because they've got one kid that's rushed for 1,700 yards and 19 touchdowns, and I believe his name here is Shea Wilson. Shea Wilson. He's had 900-yard games this year. We're going to have to watch out for that fella. Quarterback is a kid named Holden. He's good too. He's thrown for about 1,400 yards this year, 9 touchdowns. So it's we're going to have to go up there and compete against some pretty solid talent, and of course it's away. You hate to be on the road, but one thing that we can negate that is control the ball, block a little bit better, get some running going, and hopefully keep that score down. I think we've got noted here that Mount Airy averages about 30 points a game. That's about where we are. So should be a great matchup.
Well, and if you like the traditional type stuff, seeing Mount Airy next week is going to be an awful lot like having played Murphy last week. A lot of similarities between those two clubs offensively. Deion Johnson and the Shea, looking for his name
Wilson.
here, sorry, Wilson. Obviously have a lot of statistical similarities to what they do. So it'll be interesting to see how the Maroon Devils come back off of that and how much actually playing Murphy last week helps in terms of getting ready for this week. Could be a big deal.
Well, it was cold over there, and it was cold and a cold away game, so there should be similarities there. But this is a different team in Mount Airy, and obviously they're going to be. But one good thing is I know that we noted, first round playoff games were 33-2.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't beat that. Now, granted, that's a lot of 1 and 2 seeds.
Yeah.
But you can't get past that in this round of the playoffs. 33-2. That's going to take you a long way. A little tradition.
And another interesting point to that, if you add to that the fact that the Maroon Devils are still the winningest high school program in the state of North Carolina in the playoffs, then you can see why we get excited up here in the Maroon Nation when it comes to playoff time. It's a big time for Swain.
Yeah, we just need to go up there, get a win against Mount Airy, and we'd play the winner of, I believe that's Avery County, and is that East Surrey?
Yep.
So go Avery County.
Yeah, well, we would be at home if that happened.
We would be at home. So,
Avery, good idea. Yeah,
we're not done yet here.
Pull
guys.
for Avery.
Yeah.
Either way, it's going to be a tough road for the Maroon Devils, but championships are forged in toughness, and the Maroon Devils are a tough team. Smoky Mountain Conference, my opinion, the best conference in the state of North Carolina when it comes to 1A football. Robbinsville Murphy are no slouches. They're going to battle it out for a 1A title while we go for the 1AA title. So there are no slouches there, and it's going to be a tough time for the Maroon Nation, but that's all right. We like it tough. Swain has never backed down from a challenge, and this is certainly a challenge.
Yeah, it'd be memorable to go up there and get a win.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that Coach Blankenship and Coach Marr and all the rest are instilling that in them. Hey, all we can do is win one game at a time.
Right.
And I tell you go up there and you beat a 10-1 team, you could get on a roll. I mean,
right.
You see it at all levels of football. I remember our Seattle Seahawks team being 7-9, winning a division, and ended up in the championship game. Hey, it happens at all levels. All it takes is a couple of breaks, and that's what we got to go up there and hoot and holler for on Friday night.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, we're just moments away from kickoff here on the Maroon Strong pregame show. So we're going to take you out to the stadium. It's rough conditions out there, so just kind of bear with us as we work through those. It's extremely cold, which is going to make our signal a little tougher. Being audio will help it out, though. So, and I tell you what, folks, we're just moments away from kickoff for the Mount Airy and Swain first round of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association playoffs. Gary Ayers has got all the action for you coming up next. Kickoff. Take it away, Gary.